Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Krisha Nicole. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. On my page, we discuss primarily nursing questions. So yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you are a nurse, nursing student, nurse entrepreneur, or just interested in nursing. So the reason why I'm making this video is because I do get questions on my YouTube videos about nursing, and I just got a question. I get a really long reply, so I wanted to just make a video just in case somebody else has questions and just does not feel like reading all of that. So I'm looking up because my computer's in front of me and I'm recording with my phone. So one of the young ladies asked about, she said, thank you for being transparent and putting my pay on YouTube. And she asked about my second year pay. As I discussed in one of my other videos, I had asked my first employer, as a nurse practitioner, for a specific pay range. They gave me the first number for the first year and the second number I quoted for the second year. I am no longer with that employer. And I'll get back to that. And the other thing she asked about was the pace working in primary care as compared to my experience as working as an ER nurse. I will get to that. And she asked about it being slow and boring. And also, she just stated that she was considering some other specialties as a nurse practitioner. I will get on to that. Now, as far as pay goes, this is what I have discovered. Number one, my current employer pays almost $20,000 more per year than my first employer. So the numbers you guys see on the one video when I discussed my first two paychecks, I get paid way more than that now. I mean, and I'm not trying to brag or anything. It's that's just what it is. That pay was a very humble number that I requested and that they granted. And I asked for that pay as a brand new nurse practitioner trying to be humble. Now, when I left that job and went to my new employer, which is where I am now, I work in pediatrics. I asked after about a month, I asked the office manager about a pay raise. I did a little bit of research and I checked the market, how much are nurse practitioners in this specialty getting paid in the country and in this area. And I presented that and I said, this is the minimum that I want to make. And this is about what I would be making had I been, if I see the most amount of patients. So basically, I gave them a range. This is the minimum, this is the max, and I want to be somewhere in there. And they granted me that, which took me to where I am now in pay, which is a lot. So I realized now I have one employer. And I also just launched my telemedicine company, and just crunching numbers, I realized, let's say I didn't launch my telemedicine company. Well, it's just in the beginning. I haven't made any money with it. But let's say that instead of doing that, I had a part-time employer. So no, I won't be making six figures at that part-time job, but I will probably be making $65,000-$70,000 at that part-time job. If you put that pay with what I make now, that would take me to nearly $200,000 a year. And I remember when I came up with this realization, having a conversation with my husband, like, these nurse practitioners have been holding out. Like, there is money to be made as a nurse practitioner if you're willing to work a full-time and a part-time job. Now, a part-time job could mean teaching an online course. And I'm in school, so I'm on the internet anyway. I'm on classes anyway. So for me, that would be nothing. Now, for some people, they're like, if they don't want to do it, whatever. It's all up to you. It's what floats your boat. it is not all about pay though. Now, the pay does help, but it's not all about pay. Um, let's see what else. So, she asked about my second year pay. She wanted to know what it was. That second year pay was $90,000 a year. I make more than that now, and I've only been a nurse practitioner I've only been a practicing nurse practitioner about 6 months, so I've already superseded that. And she asked about primary care compared to working as an ER nurse. Now, I work in pediatrics. Pediatrics is primary care for children. When I was in a nurse practitioner program, we learned how to negotiate contracts, and we found out about how many patients you would see per day, which is 24 is considered a lot, a full-time day for a nurse practitioner. I could see 24 to 30 because you have to think about when you step into a room, there may be 3 little patients in there instead of 1 adult patient. So I can see quite a bit of patients in what I'm doing now. So I see a lot of people, and there's some days that are really, really busy. And when those days come, I am so happy that I have experience working in chaotic environments, which is the ER. I'm thankful that I don't work in an environment that is always busy and always chaotic. So even though primary care may have days that are boring or slow paced, you really learn to appreciate it, because as a new nurse practitioner, you want to have time to research medicines, research conditions that you have not seen or have forgotten from the nurse practitioner program. And that is how information will stick. The more you read and the more you see it, it'll stick. But if you're in a crazy, chaotic environment as a brand new nurse practitioner, you're just going to feel like your head is in a whirlwind, and information will not stick as fast. You need to be a pretty fast learner, and that can be hard as a brand new nurse practitioner. So I would say primary care is okay. In the beginning, I promote it for a brand new nurse practitioner. Just go in, learn as much as you can learn, and get your feet wet in primary care, where it is more slow or boring, so to speak. And there are a lot of days that are not boring. I don't know if it's because I'm in pediatrics, but there's a lot of days that it's just not boring. I mean, even when I was doing my clinicals in family medicine, I didn't think it was boring. I thought, man, this is manageable. People are making this much money doing this. Oh my gosh. Because, you see the same thing quite often. And when you do see something that's different, it's kind of exciting. So I wouldn't necessarily say primary care is boring, sorry. And I'm not editing this, so you guys are going to get the raw and uncut. Also, this particular person is considering other specialties as a nurse practitioner. My opinion is family nurse practitioners are booming. I mean, we are becoming a dime a dozen, which makes it actually a little harder to find a job, because for every one family nurse practitioner, there's probably 50, of people with the same certification looking for the same job, applying for the same job. So, I don't know. But when you are, let's say, a neonatal nurse practitioner, pediatric nurse practitioner, women's health nurse practitioner, psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner, you may find it easier to get a job because it's a specialty. Not everybody can just apply for that job. For example, there is such a high demand for the psychiatric mental health nurse practitioners. The demand is so high that those jobs are paying crazy amounts of money. I mean, for brand new nurse practitioners, you're in 6 figures. Okay, so now luckily I was able to get into a specialty, which is pediatrics, which pays well, but that's not the case for a lot of people. So specializing has its benefits, but also it has its risk, because there are not quite as many of those jobs. And let's say you lost your job, there are going to be more positions available to, let's say if you chose women's health, But when you go on Indeed, all you see are jobs like psychiatric or family or adult, and you can't do that. You can only do women's health. So I would say, if you don't get too tired of school, go ahead and do family nurse practitioner. As a family nurse practitioner, I was taught to do women's health. I was taught to do, all the female exams, all of that. So if a women's health center was willing to hire me, I can go work there as a family nurse practitioner. Now, I can't deliver babies, but neither could you as a women's health nurse practitioner. You would have to be a midwife to do that. So you can still do it. You can work pediatrics, women's health, primary care as a family nurse practitioner. You learn all of that and you work within your education. If you were taught that, you can do it, okay? Just like suturing. If you've never sutured but you're a family nurse practitioner, you really don't need to be suturing until you've actually learned that skill. So, I would say do family nurse practitioner because it opens more doors. But again, keep in mind, we are a dime a dozen, so you have to do other things to kind of make yourself stand out or, interview well or something. Let's see what else I put on here. I'm going to scroll through and see what other questions I've been asked, because honestly, I do get a lot of questions, and sometimes emails. I have to go to another video, so let me just pause this so I won't waste too much time. You guys watching me scroll. Hold on one second. Okay, guys, so there's a lot of comments on here. So there's one that I remember, and somebody was asking me about doing the LPN program and then transitioning to RN, or should they just go straight RN? Sorry about that. Now, this is my suggestion on that. If you have a stable living situation, if you don't have a lot of bills, let's say you're young and you live with your parents, go straight to RN. I mean, that route, your full-time job is being a student. You don't have rent, or maybe you have very low rent and you can maintain a part-time job. I don't know. But if that is the case, then go straight RN. It'll be straight RN programs are a little bit harder to get into. So I don't know, they may take a little longer just because you may not get in on that first round. There's so many people applying for those programs, so many young people. So there may be a waiting period for you. Now, if you have children, if you have bills, if you still have to maintain your livelihood for yourself and your children, I would say do LPN first because it's the fastest. Most LPN programs are 1 year or less. So in that time, you will become an LPN, and now you are financially stable. So while you're going into this LPN to RN transition program, which usually for most programs are somewhere around 1.5 years, if you're already an LPN, then while you're in that program, you'll be making good money so you can take care of yourself. So let's say if you're going to school 4 or 5 days a week, you can work 2 to 3 days a week. So the thing about that is you're working less days per week, but you're getting paid more money per hour, so it balances out. That's what I did. Of course, if you watch my other video, I was a CNA, then an LPN and RN, and I went through every single step, which I do not regret at all. Even though I didn't have children when I was a CNA becoming an LPN and all that, I did have children when I entered the transition program, LPN and RN. And I'm so thankful that I was able to just focus on school Monday through Friday, and I worked 12-hour shifts on the weekend, and that was enough. That was enough to financially maintain. So it really all depends on your own situation. Hey, Zoe.
Hey.
What's up?
Nothing.
I'm making a video.
Okay.
Can you come back in a minute? Can you let me make the video? And then I'm gonna finish your hair, okay? You gonna let me finish your hair?
Mm-mm.
What? We've been waiting a long time. Okay, well, come back. Give me 10 minutes, okay?
Okay.
Go in the room.
Uh-oh.
And then I'll finish your hair. It takes me all day to take her hair out. She hates it. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. But when you have children, you have to think about taking care of them and being a student and all of that stuff. So yeah. Now I do need to come back and follow up with a video about my telemedicine business, because I started these videos, a series about being a nurse entrepreneur, and I do have some information that I just wanted to share with you guys about the process, because I put the beginning, the beginnings, the process, and what I did, and this is that. But now I want to give you guys what has happened lately, which was a little bit of hiccup in the road, but we're gonna keep going. And these kids won't let me be great for YouTube, so I am going to take that as a cue to get off now and come back shortly with the nurse entrepreneur business information for those that are interested. Hope this video isn't too choppy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys at the next video. Bye bye.